I had a great childhood, and I grew up on Florida Avenue, which is pretty much the outskirts of York. It's up at the very edge of York. It is up on the hill, and it is isn't the things that are around it are just amazing as far as proximity to things that you can do. But the thing that made my childhood so amazing and made the neighborhood in which I lived so amazing were the people, as often times does happen. But every kid in my neighborhood had other kids their same age to play with. All our families got along. We had block parties. We did things that were absolutely atypical in my mind. We actually went Christmas caroling as a group of kids. The neighbors across the street, Gene and Sally Stetler, some of the sweetest people you ever wanted to meet, would kind of would kind of arrange for us to go and go door to door down the next 2 blocks and knock on people's doors and ask them if they wanted to have a couple Christmas carols sung to them. And they ate it up. They loved it. So this was kind of my childhood, part of it. It wasn't all Norman Rockwell type stuff like that. There were bloody knees involved as well. But at this point in time, Kiwanis Lake had swans, and someone killed the swans. And we were kind of distraught about this. And we probably went to Sally, this wonderful woman who lived across the street, had 2 children of her own, friends of ours. And we told her that probably mentioned that the swans had been killed. She knew this. And she began organizing, with our help, a carnival. And we had a carnival to raise money to replace the swans. We had everyone in the neighborhood pitching in. We had a huge banner that went across my driveway. It was a 1-car driveway, but it said Swans for Kiwanis Lake Carnival. We sent flyers out on Texas, Florida, and Maryland avenues, and we sent all these flyers out, and all these people came with their families. They came to our backyard where they got free food, hamburgers, hot dogs, desserts that my mom and all the mothers had made. We had a couple of clowns. A couple of the moms had dressed up as clowns, very self-deprecating. But they did that for us and for this whole cause. The kids had games to play. And then the key feature of it was us kids, we put on a carnival show, which the people who came watched or maybe endured, but we were up on the upper yard, they were on the lower yard, in all the lawn chairs that could be found in the neighborhood, and they watched while we did these acts, such as me and my dog jumping through a hoop, my poor sister donning an elephant costume, which she said has scarred her for her entire life, playing Ella the elephant, doing pretty much the same tricks that the dog did. So, sorry, Jen, I can kind of see where you're scarred a little bit. My friend had a very rudimentary magic kit, and she did magic tricks. And my friend Renee, my sister, hung from the top of the swing set and did a gymnastics routine. So all these people watched, and it was all free. And they donated money into this big white swan, plastic swan. And we raised $100. That doesn't sound like a lot of money. But in 1980, 1981 standards, and from my perspective of being a kid, that was huge. We raised $100 for these swans. And we gave it to the Park Service, and we got in the paper. We also had the mayor was there. She only lived, it was Mayor Marshall. She only lived 2 blocks down, so we got in the paper because we had press there. We had a contact with the dispatch in the neighborhood. So it was this whole event. But this is just kind of like one little microcosm of how I grew up. And I'm very aware of how lucky I am, or how lucky I have been, to have that sense of community, to have people around me that I got along with, who cared about me, who loved me, outside of my own family. All the families that we had block parties and all kinds of things. And I'm just very aware of how lucky I was, especially some of the stories I heard tonight. And Phil told a story that I just thought was wonderful, because those stories need to be told. But that not only that story, but all stories make me very aware that I was very lucky. And so I'll leave with that's just a little slice of what life on Florida Avenue was like. In maybe the way Garrison Keillor would finish it would be where the women are strong, the men are all good looking, and the children are all above average.